got a loaded show coming up on the Ravens Rundown. Starting off with the Ravens making a sneaky good signing. I'll tell you all about the brand new cornerback that's joining Baltimore. Then after that, we got to talk about another cornerback. That is Jaire Alexander. John Harbaugh provided the latest on his injury status. And then on the back half of the show, speaking of injury status, we got to talk about Keaton Mitchell because he is back at practice and what that might mean for the Ravens going forward into 2025. Before we do any of that, though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Right now, in our training camp sub-battle, things aren't going that great, okay? Steelers Talk is up 1,513 subs to 1,491. We're down, but we're not down that big, okay? Training camp's not going to be here for very much longer, so I need you guys to do me one big favor. If you hate the Steelers, if you love the Ravens, lock us in right now for daily coverage, all 100% free by hitting that sub button. So the Ravens did make a signing today. That is veteran defensive back Thomas Graham Jr. Spent time with Pittsburgh last season, but of course before that, got to throw it all the way back to 2021 where he was a 6th-round pick drafted by the Chicago Bears. Spent time in 2023 and 2023 with the Browns, and then was a practice squad player for the Steelers in 2024, but was waived in October, okay? So I can hear you asking, Joey, why is this a sneaky good signing? This is a guy who's kind of bounced around a lot in the NFL. I get what you're saying. But in my opinion, one of the reasons it's a sneaky good signing is because all the health problems that are going on with Baltimore and their defensive back room. And there are a lot of them, ladies and gentlemen. Chidobe Awuzie didn't practice today. Jalyn Armour-Davis didn't practice today. Jaire Alexander not practicing. Bilal Kone, of course, he got added to season-ending IR. Robert Longerbeam, of course, he got added as well to season-ending injured reserve. It just seems like this position group in particular is taking hit after hit after hit in the injury department. And so this room needs depth. And in my opinion, I think it also could use a little bit of competition as well. Like, it's always a good thing to throw another hat in the ring. It's always a good thing to throw another guy who's been in this league for a pretty long time, see if he can compete for a spot, because that's exactly what preseason is for. And honestly, like, the health thing is starting to scare me a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of a soundbite of what John Harbaugh had to say about it in a couple of minutes. But I don't really care how down he plays it. To me, it's still a big deal. Obviously, you had to put Longerbeam and Kone on season-ending IR. And then the other 3 guys not practicing. Jaire Alexander hasn't practiced since August 9th. Like, all these things piling up in one position group, in my opinion, I don't love that. That's no bueno. So that's why I'm really, really happy that they went out and made this signing, and it's a veteran, and it's a cornerback, and a guy who can legitimately at least get a shot to provide some depth for this team, depending on how many of those guys might be missing week 1. Grade the signing of Thomas Graham Jr. in the comment section down below, okay? Give him an A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comment section. Weigh in with your answer. Now it is time we go to the latest injury update on Jaire Alexander. John Harbaugh spoke about him in his post-practice press conference, and he may have let some people take a little bit of a deep breath, feel a little bit better about it. But to me, I don't feel that great about it still because he hasn't practiced since August 9th. And originally, things kind of started flaring up in late July. Jason B. Hirschhorn was the one who tweeted this out on July 28th. Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said Jaire Alexander didn't practice Monday due to swelling in his knee. Alexander will have the knee drained and is expected to practice Tuesday. He came back. He practiced for about a week. And then, of course, like I just said, he hasn't been a practice since August 9th. Well, Jonas Schaefer tweeted this out. This is what John Harbaugh spoke to the media about today after practice. Jaire Alexander took care of something in his knee, but should be good for week 1, John Harbaugh said. Harbaugh's not worried about the availability of other sideline Ravens defensive backs, praise God, or wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, who also needed some knee treatment. I don't like that one bit. Not one bit. Had to take care of something in his knee already. And we're talking about a guy who has missed time after time after time, game after game after game over the last 4 seasons. 4 games played in 2021, full season 2022, but he's missed 10 games in each of the last 2 seasons. This is the risk with Jaire Alexander. This is what I laid out when we talked about signing him when free agency started. Talked about trading for him when free agency started, rather. This is what I talked about when they signed him. Finally. Yeah, there was excitement, but you always got to put that asterisk when talking about a guy like Jaire Alexander, because this is just his MO. This is just who he is. Now, I will admit, I was very, very hopeful that it wouldn't start this early. That's what I was hoping. I knew that at some point you were going to have to deal with him missing some time. Because like I said, that's just kind of what comes with signing Jaire Alexander and having Jaire Alexander on your roster. But I was hopeful when that happened, the season would at least have already started yet, and it wouldn't still be middle of August. Because this room, well, it's a very, very good room. It's a great room when everybody's healthy. But if no Jaire Alexander's there, no Chidobe Awuzie, obviously Longerbeam and Kone are out, that leaves a lot of question marks. You need him, in my opinion, like 100%. And I said it throughout the entirety of this offseason. This team didn't get that much better in the cornerback room. They lost Brandon Stevens. Sure, they added in Chidobe Awuzie, but that, in my opinion, wasn't that big of a step up. Well, it was when they added in Jaire Alexander, but now he's dealing with a knee thing. Chidobe Awuzie is not practicing. Jalyn Armour-Davis isn't practicing. So where do they go next? That's the big question. That's why his health is so important to this team. It's up to you. Do you want him 100% healthy this season? And do you want him 100% healthy soon? Take action, like today's video. Do not jinx it for me. I'm a superstitious guy, and I'm not going to lie. I need him back as quickly as I can. Speaking of things being back, guess who's back right here on the channel? That's right. We got Prize Picks, and I could not be more excited to tell you guys what they have in store for you in the year of 2025. Prize Picks is what this episode is brought to you by. Preseason football is underway, and college football is here. So don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 200 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports, so join millions of users and sign up today. And because Prize Picks is so happy to be back on the Ravens Rundown, they are giving you this max discount, or as I like to call it, this DAC discount. All he has to do in week 1 is throw for half a passing yard. Now, I know we watched Joe Milton struggle throwing the football for the Dallas Cowboys just this last weekend. I can promise you, Dak Prescott's going to get half a passing yard. So go with our friends at Prize Picks today. Take advantage of that deal. And you can do that by downloading the Prize Picks app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And don't forget, I made it super easy to you. I put the link to this promo. It's in the comments and description of today's video. Reminder, that's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Link to this promo is in the comments and description. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, up last, we got to talk Keaton Mitchell because he is back at practice, ladies and gentlemen. We got some injury news about Jaire Alexander. Now we get some good injury news about a guy who is incredibly important to this team, incredibly important to this roster. And of course, I'm talking about RB3 Keaton Mitchell. He was sidelined during practice all of last week. And of course, you didn't see him in that Cowboys game. And it was a bummer because this was coming after a game where he played incredibly well against the Colts. And when you think about this running back room, Keaton Mitchell's not going to threaten for RB1, right? We all know Derrick Henry's that guy. We all know Derrick Henry's one of, if not the best running back in the league. But that RB2 spot, yes, it's Justice Hill right now, but Justice Hill is not just a running back. He's more of the guy you put in there on 3rd and longs, obvious passing downs, because he's so electric out of the backfield as a pass-catching option. When it comes to just handing off the football to another running back, I think Keaton Mitchell honestly is the second best option on this team, and he proved that week 1. In the preseason against the Colts, 9 carries, 68 yards, 7.6 yards a carry, and of course, a touchdown to that as well. He's going to bring such a great and fun wrinkle that this team did not have last year. They had it 2 years ago, but they didn't have Derrick Henry at that time, right? When he tore his ACL, week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They tried to rush him back, but we all know he was never 100% himself. He was never 100%. And that's why, in my opinion, I need him fully healthy in 2025. I want him fully healthy in 2025 because he showed us in the game against the Colts, he still has got it. He's as electrifying as any player on that field. He's as quick as any player on that field. He cuts incredibly well. He has great vision, great patience. He has all the great tools, all the necessary tools that make great running backs. And you have him on your depth chart at that running back 3. How lucky are you? And sure, there's a ton of options above him. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Rashad Bateman. Yeah, I get that. But it still doesn't mean he isn't going to add something awesome to this football team. And it still doesn't mean that he can't be used in this offense because I know that he can. Make sure you guys got me on social media. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8. And you can also find me on Instagram at Joey Petersen 8 as well. I made that super easy. Put that link in the comments section and description of today's video. So click on it. Follow me there. More than anything, make sure you're subscribed to the channel right here at the Ravens Rundown. Daily videos every single day on your favorite team.